European astronauts are frequent visitors to the International Space Station, but in the future, they will be going further. At this year's Ministerial Council of the European Space Agency, the Director General of ESA announced that astronauts from Germany, France and Italy will participate in the Artemis missions to the Moon. To find out more about the future of human space exploration, TVP World decided to sit down with an actual European astronaut, Pablo Álvarez Fernández from Spain. Pablo, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
So, would you say, are Europeans ready to go to the Moon?
Of course we are ready. European Space Agency has quite an important participation in the Artemis program with 2 modules of the future lunar space station gateway. And because of that, we now have 3 seats, as you have just said, to go back to the Moon. But this is just the beginning. We are going back, and I'm sure that in the future we'll have even more missions.
So why go to the Moon in the first place? And do you think that Europeans in particular should go to the Moon?
Well, I think so. I may be a bit biased because of my current work, but we go to do science, we go to explore, and we go to learn more about the Moon, but also about ourselves and about well, the place we, as humanity, have in the universe, right? We've been looking outside for centuries, and we'll keep doing that. We
mentioned that Europeans would be part of the NASA's Artemis mission. What is this program?
So Artemis is the opportunity that humanity has now to go back to the Moon. We are going back not only to do science, but also to learn more about how to do human spaceflight and how to go even farther. So in that sense, the Moon will be only the scenario in which we develop technology and all the medical know-how we need to survive even longer in space to aim in the next few decades for Mars.
We're currently at the European Astronaut Training Center. What does your typical day look like here? What does your training consist of? And do you get to hang out with other astronauts a lot?
So first of all, yes, we get to hang out with other astronauts a lot, and we are not so many, so we are a very close group, and particularly in Europe, we have a very good relationship. So yeah, we're very good friends, and yeah, the most complex thing about our job is that there's no routine. There's no typical day, and every day there's something different depending on what training is bringing. So I've been here for 2.5 years now, and we had absolutely everything. Like one day you may be learning about experiments in space, about how to fix the battery on the ISS, or maybe learning how to fly a plane, or doing all the training you need to do an extravehicular activity in the future. So that's also the most complex thing. Like every day is different, you require a completely different set skill, and you need to be very adaptable also.
These days, astronauts are most commonly preparing to go to the International Space Station, or at least this is where they have been going most frequently, including the Polish astronaut Sławomir, who was there this year as part of the Ignis mission to the ISS. But this might not be the case for much longer. The ISS is about to be decommissioned. Do we know what happens next? Also, why is that even the case, and what does the future hold for this part of space?
So yeah, the International Space Station has been our destination in space since the year 2000, and it actually allowed humanity to become, let's say, a space species during this millennium. So there's always been humans in space since the year 2000, which is an impressive achievement. But of course, it's getting a bit old, and the plan is to deorbit it towards 2030. How low Earth orbit will look like then, we'll see. There's several space stations that are being now developed. We want to change a little bit the concept and include also private companies now. But we are yet to fly the first module of these stations, and we'll also see how Europe works, whether we have our maybe our own module in orbit, maybe we'll supply different services to these companies in exchange of flights, or it's all to be defined, and it's still a few years away, so still have time, but now we need to also decide from Europe where we want to be in 10 years from now.
Moving on to your individual journey, what inspired you to be an astronaut, and did you always know you wanted to pursue this path?
So, I mean, if you had asked me at any point in my life whether I wanted to become an astronaut, I would have said yes. But I didn't think it was a realistic career path. Since I was little, they told me that it was extremely hard. There were not many people who managed to become an astronaut before. In fact, in Spain, we only had one before me. And at some point, I stopped believing I could make it. And it was not until the European Space Agency opened the vacancy for astronauts, and it was around the year 2020. I was selected with the SWAVOS in 2022, that I believed I may have a little tiny chance of getting it. Then you apply, and there were 23,000 people applying with you. So those chances were always very slim. But I always say that if you don't try, not trying is the only way of having zero chances of something. So you need to try.
And it worked for you.
It worked, yeah.
As I understand, part of your educational path was also studying at the Warsaw University of Technology.
Yeah.
How did you end up there, and what did you think of your educational experience in Poland?
Yeah, in fact, I lived 3 years in Warsaw, and I have a Polish master. So I did my master in the Warsaw University of Technology, Politechnika Warszawska. And I'm very happy, actually. I chose Poland. I went there as Erasmus for my final year of studies in Spain, and then I liked it so much that I decided to stay. And I think it was very interesting. It was a completely different educational system to the Spanish one, but I actually learned a lot, and it definitely gave me the skills and tools I needed to become an astronaut. So I'm super grateful to Poland and everything I learned there.
So would you say it's a good environment to study space?
Well, I think so. Also, the university I came from in Spain was still very new. My studies were, right now it's much better than it used to be. But when I arrived to the Warsaw University of Technology, it was a very established institution with loads of laboratories and experiments, and it felt very alive to me. There was so much going on that I really enjoyed. So yeah, of course, it's a very nice place to study.
Being an ESA astronaut, what is next for you?
So right now I'm in training. I'm a career astronaut, which means that we are being trained for long-duration missions, including robotics operations or extravehicular activities. So our training takes much longer than if I was being trained for a short-duration mission. But the plan for us is to fly to the ISS before 2030 for the orbiting in, and that's my goal every day when I wake up. So it's, we'll see when I have the opportunity, like SWAVOS, of visiting the ISS.
Fingers crossed that it happens, the sooner the better.
Thank you.
My last question, I've been covering space for a while now, and it seems to be easy for the general public to understand the benefits coming from space technologies such as satellites and so on. But some people struggle with understanding what human space exploration brings to wider society. You as an astronaut, in your words, what would you say human space exploration brings to the wider society?
So about the ISS, for example, the ISS is a laboratory. It's a very unique laboratory with unique conditions. We have microgravity. And if you think about it, you're taking out the only variable that has been constant throughout human evolution or life evolution on Earth, which is gravity. And then when you take that variable out, strange things happen. Like, for example, you get bigger crystals, and you think, oh, why is this important? So proteins also become crystals, and when they do, you can generate bigger crystals that allow us to generate medicines, drugs that we just cannot manufacture here on Earth. We can also study how our bodies adapt and how they readapt back when we come back, and that's very handy to learn more about our bodies and develop treatments for osteoporosis or muscular degeneration or many other sicknesses. No, and that's only like what things that we may see more in our everyday life, but then there's also loads of material science experiments or other biology experiments that are super handy and have loads of spin-offs and technology developments that will change our life here on Earth, which is the ultimate objective.
Pablo, we'll be keeping an eye on your mission to the ISS, hopefully coming up very soon. Thank you very much for the conversation.
Thank you very much.
And to your viewers, thank you for watching TVP World, and do stay tuned for more coverage.